Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my Beelze or Beelze deck. It's just based on synchro summoning that dragon. It's a very powerful card in my opinion, so I really wanted to try to just make a deck around it. Maybe it was a crazy idea. This is a very experimental build, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm able to get Beelze out very quickly, and it's very annoying for your opponent to deal with. So I still think it has a lot of potential, but you guys can let me know. So first off, we have 3 Plaguespreader Zombie. Obviously, an easy dark tuner for this deck that can get special summoned very quickly, which is very nice. And then Krebons, the other dark tuner that can get special summoned very easy from the deck, so very nice as well. And then we have Destiny Hero Malicious, obviously a 6-star that can get special summoned extremely quickly as well once it's in the graveyard. Then we have Armageddon Knight, Dark Grepher, both really good for this deck, allowing you to send dark monsters to the graveyard so he can summon very quickly, and Dark Grepher can special summon himself. He can allow you to discard Malicious, so just leads to some really nice plays very quickly. And then Tragoedia. Tragoedia is really nice, fodder for Dark Grepher, allowing you to use the levels that are in the graveyard to do more plays, and also a dark monster, so it just leads to a lot of really nice things, and because we're lacking some of the more staple traps, can be nice to have this card to activate when we get attacked. And then we have 2 Effect Veiler, just helping us out with effects. Effects can be one of the annoying things for Beelze to deal with, so can be really useful. Also gives us access to other synchros as well, so you can do some other interesting plays that I'll talk about in the extra deck. And then 1 Dark Armed Dragon, with so much dark and so much graveyard manipulation, can be an extremely powerful card, kind of an alternative to our synchro summoning. And then 3 Emergency Teleport, getting out Krebons very easily. 2 MST, 2 Forbidden Lance, allowing you to protect yourself. Beelze can get blown up by like Dimensional Prison or some other cards, so it's definitely nice to have something like this. Then Allure of Darkness for draw power. Foolish Burial, obvious choice in this deck, sending to the graveyard. Dark Hole, great in a lot of decks, but in this deck you have your Synchro that can't be destroyed by card effects, and then you use Dark Hole, so very, very powerful. So now for the traps, we're running 3 of the First Monarch. So this is a very interesting card that I thought would be really interesting for this deck specifically because it's an easy special summon of a 6-star dark monster. So easy, synchro summons for Beelze right there, and also 6-star XYZs. So I think this could be a really useful card in this deck, and I'm messing with it, seeing what it can do. Obviously the drawback is that you can only special summon dark monsters, but the majority of our extra deck is dark monsters, so it isn't really a huge deal. And usually you won't bring it out unless you're going to use it for a dark monster synchro. And even if you aren't, you can also, discard a card and change the attribute as well. And then we have Safe Zone, just a really powerful card in combination with Beelze, giving us some opportunity to not let him be affected by card effects. It's very important that you have some alternatives to protect him, because even though he can't be destroyed by card effects, there's other things that can, really annoy him, like things that target him. So Safe Zone can be really, really effective. And then Call the Haunted. Call the Haunted is really, really nice because if they manage to get him to the graveyard, you can bring him back, and if they destroy Call the Haunted, it won't matter. So very, very powerful. And Call the Haunted helps us synchro summon as well. And then Staple Traps, also 1 Divine Wrath, allowing us to discard sending things to the graveyard and dealing with effects. It's debatable whether you want to run this because it's a -1, but in this deck a -1 can be fine because you can dump things that might need to be in the graveyard. And like I said, effects are one of the things that can really mess with you. So you really want to have things to deal with that. If you run into like Silent Honor or Tiger King or something like that. So now for the extra deck, not going to have too much XYZ. Exciton Knight and Master Key Beetle. Master Key Beetle can be very, very effective in this deck, so definitely useful. Exciton Knight just situational, but still very useful. 6-star XYZs. Inzektor-Exa Beetle, the only 6-star dark XYZ that is TCG. So currently what I'm running, obviously you can get this guy out very easily with some of the things you could do. And Ptolemy, obviously you can summon this guy out pretty easily as well, so it can be nice, but can be a bit tricky obviously because he's a light monster. Still, his effect is worth it. And after the synchros, so Iron Chain Dragon and HTS, their effects are okay. It's not really about their effects, it's more about the fact that we can get out 6-star synchros, that we can also bump them into 8-star synchros, so that can be very, very important. And then Black Rose Dragon, obviously we can make that with the 6 stars and Effect Veiler, so that's definitely a choice in this deck, but it's up to you. You can also bump it up to an 8-star as well, so that can be nice. For the 8 stars, Void Ogre Dragon, very, very powerful card once you empty your hand, just really strong. Dark End Dragon also really useful. Scrap Dragon, Stardust Dragon, Crimson Blader. 8-star Synchros are kind of the bread and butter of this deck, so they're the focus. And obviously 3 of Beelze. Just a really powerful card. It can't be destroyed by card effects or battle. It gains attack when monsters attack it, so just a really strong option, and this deck is all about this card and making huge use of it. So now for the side deck, a lot of options for this deck, a lot of different things you could do. Again, my deck is very experimental, still messing with it, so I might try out some of these options in the future. So you can definitely run a more dragon-focused build, and if you do that, you can run Red Eyes, who will summon Beelze from the graveyard, which is nice. You can run a more 4-star base deck, doing things with Trap Eater, but kind of situational. You can run like a zombie build for this deck. You can combine this with zombies very easily and run a different build that's really interesting. Goblin Zombie, Mizuki, both can be really helpful if you do that. You could run this with Chaos Dragons, definitely an interesting choice. You can just run it with some of the Chaos cards as well, just Light Pulsar. Chaos enables you to get out 6 stars really easily as well, so that enables the plays you want to do with this deck. And Blackluster Soldier, obviously, if you're running Chaos. Unknown Synchron, another choice. If you're running like a 7-star heavy deck, you could run Unknown Synchron and get out Beelze very, very easily. You could do it in this deck as well, but not really my focus. There's other XYZs you can run, Silent Honor, Photon Strike Bouncer. There's other options, but not really what I'm trying to do. Revived King you can also get out. Not really important for this deck at all, just another 6-star that you can run. Bunch of other spell and traps you can use. Barrel from a Different Dimension, probably the card that I was closest to putting in this deck. Very, very good for this deck, still thinking about using it. Forbidden Dress, another thing to deal with effects, can be very important if you want to protect yourself from targeting effects. Destiny Draw, way to dump Malicious for draw power, definitely could be useful, thinking about adding that. Escape from the Dark Dimension, we're going to have a lot of banished dark monsters, so this can be a really good card for this deck. And Fiendish Chain, another alternative to deal with effects if you want to use it. So that's my Beelze deck. Again, still kind of in progress, still kind of messing with it. I have seen that it's really, really good for getting out Beelze, but it's just, it can have some dead hands and there's some other issues, but still really fun, and I definitely think that this card has a lot of potential. And yeah, just having a lot of fun with this deck and trying to make it work and do a lot of cool things. But if you guys have your own deck that's focused on Beelze, I'd definitely like to see it. You could let me know in the comments. You could let me know what kind of cards you use, talk about some strategies or things like that that can really work out with this deck. But that's about it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.